Intro music fades out. Okay, let me ask you this. What if the biggest disruptors in Indian business right now aren't Silicon Valley-style tech bros, but women building companies that actually care about people? Hook? I'm talking about the Wonder Women entrepreneurs of 2026. Not because they're flawless, but because their rise reveals something deeper about what business can and should be. Camera zooms in slightly. Let's unpack this. The article frames them as innovators in underserved markets, but personally, I think that undersells the radical part. They're not just filling gaps. They're rewriting the rules of what counts as valuable in business. Gestures with hand. When you see women dominating sectors like sustainable agriculture tech or affordable healthcare devices, it's not random. They're attacking problems that male-dominated industries ignored for decades. Why? Because lived experience shapes priorities. Simple as that. Pauses thoughtfully. Now the media loves to call this a shift in the ecosystem, but let's dissect that. What we're really seeing is the collapse of the old lone genius founder myth. These entrepreneurs aren't working in isolation. They're building networks, mentoring fiercely, and refusing to play by outdated macho startup tropes. Lean forward and honestly, that mentorship angle might be the most underrated part. It's not just about individual success. They're systemically widening the pipeline for the next generation. Raises eyebrows, which makes me wonder. Are we witnessing the birth of a fundamentally more inclusive economic model in India? Here's where people get it wrong, assuming this is purely about gender. Shakes head. It's about perspective. Women entrepreneurs bring different pain points, different community ties, different definitions of success. When the article says profitability and purpose aren't mutually exclusive, I immediately think, of course they aren't. Excited hand motion, that dichotomy was always a false one created by narrow-minded capitalists. These founders are proving you can solve real human problems and build scalable businesses. The shock should be that this approach wasn't the default all along. Camera cut to slightly wider angle. Let's zoom out. Gesture to your imaginary map. This isn't just an Indian story. It's part of a global reckoning where stakeholders demand more from businesses. But India's context makes it fascinating. A country with deep patriarchal roots now becoming a laboratory for 21st century entrepreneurship. Slow down. And this part's crucial. Their success isn't about charity or diversity checkboxes. It's about superior market insight. When you've been excluded from systems, you see their flaws more clearly. That's not just inspiring. It's economically intelligent. Nods. So where's this heading? Shifts position. If these women keep redefining sectors, we might see a fundamental power shift in India's economy. Imagine a future where business as usual includes sustainability, social impact, and collaborative leadership as baseline expectations. Small smile radical? Maybe. But then again, so were the first women who dared to build companies in spaces that told them no seat at the table. Fades out, music starts. End screen. What other industries need a Wonder Woman revolution? Let me know in the comments.